Hello, I am Aidan and you are the listener, and this is Switching to the Future, featuring my thoughts on the nominations of the Game Awards 2024. This is a bit of a special episode as the Game Awards is happening. Nominations came out at the beginning of the week, so I figured, why don't I talk about them in this episode? This episode's going to be in 3 segments. The intro, right now, your regularly scheduled program, and my thoughts on the Game Awards. Timestamps will be in the description. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly get the opening notes rolling through. Happy Friday, it's the 22nd of November 2024 as of the posting of this episode. I'm getting rid of the rumour mill section in the Switching in your regularly scheduled podcast, and we'll put realistic ones into the headlines, but mention our rumours still. This is due to quite a few slow news weeks, so I'm consolidating the main podcast and adding, this extra section on top of it just to keep the show interesting. Right, now, let's get to business. Hello again? Okay, so, let's get to business. Okay, predictions for the reveal and release of the next Nintendo system. Reveal prediction, late February 2025. If you think they're going to announce it during the Game Awards, remember, they booted the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom staff off stage with almost no time for a speech, but gave famous game designer Kojima 20 minutes to promote the world's blandest looking upcoming game that I haven't seen one person hyped for. Yes, this show is biased. I mean, isn't everything biased? But yeah, simply put, no, they're not announcing it at the Game Awards. I'm certain they're not. Release prediction, September 2025. That hasn't really changed. Okay, now to the headlines. Nintendo Music got F-Zero X music this week. It's a good soundtrack, just like 2 of the biggest tracks in that game are already on Nintendo Music because of another game. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to be precise. Yeah. Hopefully next week's a bit better. Donkey Kong Land comes to Game Boy Nintendo Switch Online this week. Well, it was a surprise drop on the morning. I have a feeling they're going to be dropping a few more NSO things over the next couple of weeks. And also, apparently, according to this rumour, this is a rumour from a relatively trustworthy source in my opinion, the next Nintendo console will have... Well, let me... get this up. I don't have access to Twitter anymore, so somebody inform me about this. According to a new rumour, Nintendo is potentially preparing up to 7 million Nintendo Switch 2 units to avoid any shortages at launch. This is 2.5 times the amount of Switches that were available at launch. Now, I don't say Switch 2, I only said it because it said Switch 2 in the post, but what do I think? I think this is good. But I also think pre-orders and launch day are still going to be absolute war. If you're thinking of pre-ordering the thing, good luck. Even though we don't even know when pre-orders are opening yet, but it's still going to be cake. It's still going to be crazy if the PS5 and Xbox Series X were anything to think about. So, yeah. I would like to thank... at heyimjames.bsky.social on Blue Sky for bringing this up to me. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the heads up. I'll also post a link to the rumour in the description. And is that really it? Wow. Yeah, this is why I'm doing the whole unscripted section. Well, this is Switching to the Future. Thank you for watching. Now on to my mostly unscripted thoughts about the Game Awards. Hello again for a 3rd time. Now for my unscripted thoughts on the Game Awards. It's relevant enough to the usual podcast because Nintendo. This is part 1, where I mostly talk about nominees. Part 2 is coming on December 13th, where I talk about my opinions on the final show. Okay, we got 29 categories. Let's get the show on the road. Game of the Year. I'm personally voting for Astrobot. I personally think Astrobot won't win. I'm voting for Astrobot because brilliant game, I really enjoyed it. But I know it won't win because why else would Elden Ring's DLC, despite being heavily disputed, be there? It's clear that this show is rigged. It always... I mean, it's been rigged for years. Why am I taking this seriously? Everybody else still takes it seriously, so... yeah. Okay. Next up. Best game direction. I'm voting for... Astrobot again. Sorry. I really enjoyed the game. I 100%ed it on the weekend it came out. Got every little speedrun DLC, little collectible robot when they came out, and I've just loved this game. Personally, I think the winner has a shot of... well, Metaphor has a shot of winning, though. Apparently it's very unique. I mean, it's made by the team that made the Persona series of RPGs. Well, 3, 4, and 5 specifically, and really stylized game. So, yeah, I think that one's going to win, though. Knowing everything, knowing how rigged this show is, chances are it's going to be Elden Ring again. Best narrative. Now, I haven't played any of these games. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? I mean, that's just a retelling of a portion of Final Fantasy VII, if I'm correct. Can't really comment too much about that. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I hear Man That Erased His Name has a pretty good plot. Don't know about Infinite Wealth. Metaphor, I'm probably going to vote for that. Because it's new, it's here, it's new, it's not Silent Hill 2, which is just a remake, but a second remake of the PS2 game. But the only change is that they threw a Comic Sans sign in a bin. Next up, Best Art Direction. Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Tree, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Metaphor, and Never. I'm voting Metaphor for this one. I haven't played it, but the art style's beautiful. Astrobot, I mean, I always liked the little art style they had for little cute robots, but Black Myth Wukong, realistic. Elden Ring, why is it on this list? It should be restricted to best ongoing game at worst. Metaphor's beautiful, and Never. N-E-V-A. It's an indie game. Well, it's a generic indie game. It's another one of those games where you're this person, you're followed around by the spirit animal, the spirit animal magically becomes powerful. I'm tired of these games with the same trope. See them too many times. Best score in music. Astrobot, again. Music's beautiful. Though I hear the music for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is really good, so I think there's going to be a good competition this year. Best audio design. Now, I have a feeling there'll be one of two winners. Astrobot, because it makes really good use of the PS5 controller's speaker, or Call of Duty Black Ops 6 because of customized headphone profiles and all sorts of fancy audio features. I'm voting Astrobot because it's the only game that doesn't neglect every source of audio that it can output. So, yeah. Best performance. A bunch of actors I've never heard of, so I'll skip through that. Innovation in accessibility. You know, the problem is that there's an EA game. EA games tend to not be accessible. 2 Ubisoft games. Ubisoft tends to cheap out on accessibility. And 2 Xbox games. One of which heavily disputed. I'm going to vote the Xbox game Diablo 4. Because, I mean, that's the only one I've actually heard anything about accessibility regarding. Games for Impact. Or games you've never heard about, or games you never give a damn about. Well, I mean, they're games made with good intentions, thought-provoking games with a pro-social meaning or message, but I've never heard of any of them. That's the problem. Maybe it's my problem that I haven't heard of them, but I'm going to vote for Life is Strange Double Exposure because that series has... It's definitely caused a lot of people to rethink the ways of life from news articles I've read about the series in general. Best ongoing game. As in game that gets the best updates. Destiny 2, paid DLC. Diablo 4, paid DLC, but both of those games are live service. Final Fantasy XIV. You have a question why Final Fantasy 1 isn't enough? Fortnite, which I'm voting for because the last year and a bit have been phenomenal. Season OG, Fortnite Festival, Lego Fortnite-ish, Chapter 5 was fun. Yeah, I'm voting for that. And then there's also Helldivers 2, which is a really good game from what I've heard, but I haven't played it. Best community support, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky. Out of all of them, there's only one game where the developers actually listen to the community. Helldivers 2. And best independent game, Balatro, card game. Everybody thinks, I mean, it's nominated for Game of the Year, so... Best debut indie game, voting for the exact same thing. Best mobile game. I'm voting for the exact same thing again. Best VR/AR. I'm voting for Asgard's Wrath 2. Came through with my MetaQuest 3, and I haven't played too much of it, but it's fun. The weapons are fun. The action is fun. The puzzles are fun. It is fun. I feel powerful playing it. Best action game. Haven't played any of them. Gonna vote Helldivers 2. Best action adventure game. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom is listed here. First Nintendo nomination I've ran into so far. I mean, I've already voted. I'm changing my votes. So a couple of them are different to what I initially voted, but I think Astrobot. I'm gonna put Astrobot there because it's the one that I played for hours and 100%ed. Best RPG. Dragon's Dogma 2. Elden Ring's DLC. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Metaphor. I'm voting Metaphor. Now, if this show was a bit less rigged and didn't put DLC above actual games or remakes, I'd probably be voting Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, considering that one got quite a high rating. And also, Black Myth Wukong. The reason I think this show is rigged is because that game has a stupidly low Metacritic score. As in, even lower than one of the best, quote-unquote, family games this year. Super Mario Party Jamboree. How does Mario Party score better with the critics than a Game of the Year nominee? And how does Mario Party not get listed for Game of the Year? It's rigged. There. Best fighting game. Haven't played any of them. I don't play many fighting games. Marvel vs. Capcom, no, it is legendary for a reason, so I'm voting that. Okay, best family. Astrobot's here. I'm not voting for it. I'm voting for for Super Mario Party Jamboree. Because that is the pinnacle of party game, the pinnacle of family game. I haven't purchased it, but people love it. Like, for the people I've heard, they just love it. So... And also Astrobot's only single player. Best simulator/strategy. Let's skip this one because I haven't heard of any of these games and I don't play simulators or strategy games. Best sports/racing. F1 24. Apparently quite bad. EA Sports FC 25. The same. NBA 2K25. The same. Topspin 2K25. The same. WWE 2K24. The same. Let's skip this again. I really should have bought a drink. Best multiplayer. Super Mario Party Jamboree. I 100% have a Nintendo bias. And also, I mean, it has online multiplayer as well as local multiplayer, so yeah. Best adaptation: League of Legends Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, as in the guy from Sonic, Like a Dragon Yakuza, and Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft. I'm voting Fallout. I'm not a big fan of the Fallout game series, but it's the only adaptation out there that I have any true respect for. Arcane is League of Legends. I don't like League of Legends. The Knuckles TV show had a worse rating than Halo Season 2, despite the fact that wasn't nominated, yet made by Paramount as well. And also, Halo Season 2 was bad anyways. Like, not as bad as Season 1, but bad. Like a Dragon Yakuza. Haven't heard many people talk about it. Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft. Didn't even know they made a Tomb Raider TV show or film this year. Most anticipated game. We all know what's going to win. Grand Theft Auto 6. What am I voting for? Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I'm not a GTA fan. I mean, I got the GTA trilogy on PS5 a little while back, before they heavily enhanced them. I mean, it's fun. GTA is fun, but it ain't the kind of game I play, so... I like open world stuff, but I also like... I don't know. Also, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I was there E3 2017, watching that presentation. When they announced Metroid Prime 4, I couldn't care less. Then Metroid Prime Remastered happened, and now I'm excited. And then, of course, I saw it in the June Direct, and I was like, this looks beautiful for a Switch game. Next category, Content Creator of the Year. 4 bearded people I don't know anything about, and a VTuber. Yeah, I'm not voting for any of them. Well, I mean, I'm just going to skip and vote random. Best esports game. Or, at this point, just call it Riot Games versus Valve. Because 3 of them are from Riot Games: League of Legends, Mobile Legends, and Valorant. And then 2 games from Valve, Counter-Strike 2 and Dota 2. I don't like any of these games at all. I'm going to vote Dota 2 because it has a narrator. Well, you can buy voice narrator packs. I believe, like, usually it's, "Welcome to Dota." But you can have Gabe Newell, the CEO of Valve, say, "Welcome to Dota." So, yeah. Also, if I'm correct, there's a J.K. Simmons pack as well, so, yeah. Best esports athletes. All people I've never heard about. Half of them play League of Legends. Best esports team. Most of them play League of Legends. I don't like League of Legends, and that's all. So, that's my opinions on the votes. On each category. The show's definitely rigged, with Elden Ring and Black Myth Wukong being heavily featured, despite the fact that one's DLC and the other is a not best rated game by the critics. So, yeah. Next week on, or next time on Unscripted Thoughts, might not be next week. The first of a long and hopefully long enough, but not too long, 7 or so part series on different parts of Nintendo Switch Online, where I give my thoughts. Coming December 13th, part 2 of this. Okay. Now for the... Well, I don't really have anything to say, so thank you for watching. Have a good day, week, night, month, whatever. It's almost December, so happy Thanksgiving for next week if you live in the US. Black Friday is next week. Have a nice week, and goodbye.